The experience of going through narcissistic abuse changes a person drastically. It changes the way they see themselves and it changes the way they feel about relationships. It puts them in a box and closes them up there to new relationships, to new situations where they would have to be emotionally vulnerable. However, there comes a time, a point in their healing journey where they feel ready to begin again, but they do not know what and what not to look for in a potential partner. Hi, I am Danish, a narcissistic abuse recovery professional, and today I'll be sharing with you 8 things that you must look for in a partner when you begin dating again after narcissistic abuse. If that sounds interesting to you, I strongly recommend subscribing to this channel if you have not yet by pressing that subscribe button and pushing that bell icon so that you stay updated with everything that I post on this channel. So let's get started. Number 1, patience and consistency. When it comes to narcissists, they are impulsive by their nature. They want things to happen quickly so that they get what they want. That's why things are very intense with them in the beginning. That's why, they just want to jump from one loop to the other to get inside and have that control over you. When you are with a new potential partner, what you have to look for is how patient they are when it comes to taking major decisions such as marriage, getting engaged, or any kind of commitment that needs your big emotional investment. You have to look for the consistency as well, because narcissists can pretend to be patient in the beginning to gain your trust, which is again a facade, and it's something that does not continue. You have to look for patience and its consistency in the long term. Let's suppose a year for you to understand really who they are and how patient they are. Number 2, if they are respectful and sensitive. A narcissist does not respect anyone because the concept of respecting someone else is alien to them. In reality, the supply is seen as an object which they can use in any way that they want to, which is why there are no boundaries, which is why there is no identity of a supply in the narcissist's eyes. So, when it comes to the new potential partner, you have to look for how respectful they are of your boundaries. And when it comes to your boundaries, I mean emotional boundaries, physical, psychological, and other boundaries that a partner is expected or obliged to respect. You also have to be aware of pretense, because a narcissist is a master player. They put on a facade, a mask, to show that they understand, but they really don't. So you have to be cautious of this, and you have to consider this for a long term and see how consistent this is. Consistency is the key here as well. Number 3, understanding and opening. How understanding are they? Because when it comes to narcissists, you and I both know that their wave is very rigid. In their brains, in their minds, what they think, what they feel is the only reality. Nothing outside of it is to be considered or can be considered. Their structure of thought process is very rigid. It's just their way or the highway. They are close to change and understanding, let alone changing something in their personality. They do not even accept that there's something wrong with them. Understanding and openness is one of the main things that needs to be present in a partner when it comes to growth, when it comes to intimacy. Because if they do not understand you, your point of view, and if they do not consider it or cannot consider it, then they are not even seeing you. What they see is themselves and what they want and how they want things to be. So look out for this thing and look out for it in a long period, like long term. Because again, they can pretend to be understanding and open, but in reality, they are not. So understanding and openness is one of the qualities that you should look for. Number 4 is honesty and congruence. A narcissist, by his or her nature, is a dishonest person. They are liars, they are manipulators, and they are masters at it because that is what they have been doing for their whole life. Lying and manipulating is as easy to them as is breathing. So when you are looking for a partner, look for honesty in them. Look for the matching in their sayings and actions. This is what congruence is. It is when your actions match with what you say. So look for that. Look for that in long term. Look for how honest they are when it comes to expression of their feelings. Look for how open and honest they are in expressing how your presence affects them and how it feels like that. Look for what they say. For example, if they say they like you, how they show it in their actions in long term and constantly. Number 5, a castle builder. For the lack of a better word, I have chosen the word castle builder. A narcissist is best at future faking. They promise you things that they have no intention of fulfilling in the future. For example, they could promise you of homes, families, this and that, just to get your attention and have that control over your trust. When you are with a new partner, what you have to look for is how intense is this castle building. Are they someone who are showing you dreams with no intentions of fulfilling them? Are they someone who are doing this, who are first knowing what you want and then pretending to be the source of providing that, or the provider, just to gain your trust? Because if this is the case, then you are in a big trouble. Now, I also would like to mention at this point that having visions together and thinking of, how your future is going to be is something that is a part of a relationship, part of discussions that happen in there. There's nothing wrong with them. The only thing that you need to be aware of and you need to check is if the promises are fulfilled in one or the other way, or if they have the real intention of doing them. And how you can do this, how you can check, is to wait, to see it in the long term. Number 6 is you have to look for if they are an information extractor. A narcissist is very strategic when it comes to abusing, when it comes to laying the traps. Because they first extract the information from you and then use it against you. They take the information, they see where the wounds are and then pretend to be the solution, the medicine to them, but it's all a facade to just gain your trust. You have to look out for this one thing in a partner, that if they are extracting information just for the purpose of using it against you. Now, it's again an intrinsic part of a relationship where you share things with each other, you share your past stories, and then it's something that helps you to get to know each other more. But in the long term, if you find that the information that you have shared have been or is being used against you, then that is a red flag. Number 7, empathy and selflessness. When it comes to a narcissist, they are the most selfish person you would ever meet in your life. Because whatever they do in their life is all about themselves and there's nothing beyond. So when it comes to a new potential partner, you have to look for empathy. How truly do they understand what you are trying to express? Can they relate with you at a feeling level? And how deeply can they? Because empathy is an essential ingredient of a deep connection, and you cannot miss having that with someone. And if this is missing, the relationship is incomplete. And how selfless they are. Now, when I talk about selflessness, I do not talk about people pleasing. That is something different. I talk about how giving they are, how open they are depending on you in a healthy way, and how open they are having you depend on them in a healthy way. So there has to be healthy dependence on each other, because that is important, that is needed in a relationship if it has to work in the future. Number 8, and the final thing that you have to look for, is how important is physical affection for them. Because a narcissist is always addicted to something, and some of them are addicted to physical intimacy. And I would not call it physical intimacy, it is sex. So the whole relationship is all about getting that, doing that. You have to be aware that if your relationship is all about physical intimacy and sexual intimacy and sexual stuff, then that is a red flag. You have to look for how your partner responds if you say no to that. It is important to have that component as well, but to check that it is the only thing that your relationship is standing on, then it is a red flag as well. I hope I was able to help you understand the 8 things that you need to look for in a partner after narcissistic abuse. I'll talk with you very soon. Till then, let the healing begin.